Welcome to Reflecting God Today. Whatever you are doing right now, if you're able to watch this video, let us pause from the busyness of life upon this Wednesday morning, afternoon, or evening, and open our Bibles together as we see the wondrous things the Lord's words have for us. They are indeed wonderful words of life. And so let us see what life the words of God has for us. We will open our Bibles to the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 8. The Bible says, your faith in God has gone forth everywhere, so we do not need to say anything. See, the life of Christ was an ever-widening, shoreless influence, an influence that bound him to God and to the whole human family. Through Christ, God has invested man with an influence that makes it impossible for him to live to himself. Individually, we are connected with our fellow men, a part of God's great whole, and we stand under mutual obligations. See, no man can be independent of his fellow men. And for the well-being, each of us affects others in our lives. And now it is God's purpose that each shall feel themselves necessary to the welfare of others and seek to promote their happiness. Every soul is surrounded by an atmosphere of its own. An atmosphere, it may be charged with the life-giving power of faith, courage, and hope, and sweet with the fragrance of love, or it may be heavy and chilled with the gloom of discontent and selfishness, or poisonous with the deadly taint of cherished sin. By the atmosphere surrounding us, every person with whom we come in contact is consciously or unconsciously affected. See, this is a responsibility from which we cannot free ourselves. Our words, our acts, our dress, our deportment, even the expression of the countenance has an influence. Upon the impression thus made, there hangs results for good and evil which we cannot measure. Every impulse that is imparted is seed sown that will produce its harvest. It is a link in the long chain of human events extending we know not whither. If by our example we aid others in the development of good principles, we give them power to do good. In turn, they exert the same influence upon others, and they upon still others. Thus, by our unconscious influence, thousands are able to be blessed. Have you ever thrown a pebble into the lake? See, when we throw a pebble into the lake, a wave is formed, and another, and another. And as they increase, the circle widens until it reaches the very shore. And so, with our influence beyond our knowledge or control, it tells upon others in blessing. But the silent witness of a true, unselfish, godly life carries an almost irresistible influence. By revealing in our own life the character of Christ, we cooperate with Him in the work of saving souls. It is only by revealing in our life His character that we can cooperate with Him. And the wider the sphere of our influence, the more good we may do. And so do good. Widen your influence, because this is how we reflect God today.